Hey guys, so all of this talk about Big Brother, the truth movement has exposed this Big Brother agenda for a long time now. It's the God of this age who isn't God but masquerades as such, who isn't the Father but wants to be all-knowing and all-seeing through technological means, but obviously it's all counterfeit. It's the false God. It is not the Father. It is Satan. So when we think of the term Big Brother, what do you think that's describing? Well, who was the big brother of Abel? It's Cain. And what was Cain? He was a murderer from the beginning. As Christ said, Satan, the devil, was a murderer from the beginning. So the big brother is Cain. This system that is round the corner that they hope to bring upon the world is the system of Cain. The wood kid. And when you think about Big Brother, it's BB, which is 1313. This is something else I've been discussing recently with the Black Veil Brides and how they use the 1313 in their logo, the BB. And in the UK we've got a big show on at the moment called Big Brother. I'm sure you've all heard of that. And at the moment they've got a big series of this Big Brother called Big Brother Armageddon, and it is just everywhere. This whole agenda is just everywhere, the police state, and it comes from Big Brother Cain, 1313, just like IAO, with the 1313 and the V in the centre, the birthing of this new age of the son of Cain, if you will. So we look into the son of Cain, and this, I believe, I've answered through just the last couple of days. Something has come to me, and I believe that I've answered a big question, certainly in my mind, about the false Christ, the false Jesus, and why he's got long hair. But more on that in a second. So we're talking about the big brother, the son of Sam. I don't know if you guys have heard much about Samael, but let's look at Samael for a second. Samael is the severity of God, an archangel, a figure who is accuser. You know that in the Bible Satan is described as the accuser, the seducer, and the destroyer. Now, who does that sound like? He's also described as the angel of death. Now, going down into Gnosticism, they believe that Samael means the blind God. Again, people have been blinded by the God of this age. His appearance is that of a lion-faced serpent. Now, I believe in Gnosticism they think that he is both good and bad. Samael is both good and bad. But of course we know what that means. That's talking about duality. And I'm sorry, but if there is any bad in this archangel, then it is fallen. I don't believe that the Father's kingdom has bad in it. I don't believe the Father's angels have bad in them, because they are not fallen like we are and like the fallen angels. So interesting that the Samael is to do with the angel of death, and Uncle Sam in the USA was the one calling people to go and give their lives as soldiers, soldiers for the war. And of course that was Uncle Sam that called people to go and sacrifice themselves for that. And all you have to do is look at the way the media and different bands are portraying this Samael and the things and iconography and symbology that is associated clearly with this Samael, and even the sigils of this angel are pretty revealing. But just take a look at the way that this Samael is portrayed, and it should give you an idea of the agenda and the meaning and who this entity represents and what this represents. So this is where I believe that I've got some answers, more answers now, to why the false Jesus has the long hair. Because I don't believe that Christ did have long hair, because the Bible even reveals that. Now, I'm sure some of you will know the story of Samson, the one who had the strength to push down the pillars and sacrificed himself. And obviously this is all about the destruction of the old and the bringing in of the new, the regeneration, the rebirth, the rise of the phoenix, the out with the old. And this story of Samson, if you look into it, was to do with the same thing there. Now the meaning of the name Samson in Hebrew is sun child, bright sun. Just like Eleanor was in the horror movie The Haunting, just like Eleanor was to do with the shining light, is often to do with this. So the meaning of Samson, the one that pushed down the pillars, is sun child, bright sun. So this is the agenda, and this is what the figure we're talking about here, their false messiah, is all to do with. It's to do with the 13th pillar that does this. So as we looked into before, you've got the cell phone company and technological computer company Samsung, which broken up is Sam's son G, literally S-U-N, son. Sam's son G. And you know what G is? The Masonic G. It's the gate, and it's the 6. And I think it's to do with the I-G, I Jesus. It's the false Jesus, guys. And this is what they're waiting for. Now, why do I think they show the false Jesus with long hair? Because Samson in the Bible, in his hair was his strength. Remember, the lady cut his hair and he lost his strength. So this is why I believe, this is what I believe we've got here. We've got a depiction of this very same character, this very same figure. And that is what I believe their false Jesus is all to do with. Remember, this is the same story that cycles round and round. Christ became part of that curse and stepped in and destroyed this never-ending loop for us and gave us a straight and narrow way back to the Father. He was the end of this, and Satan is defeated in Christ. So there you go. This is why I think they're showing him with long hair. Just like in Narnia, you had the witch cut the lion's hair.
Let him first be shaved.
And I think Narnia was the same depiction of this. It wasn't actually, from what I've seen, the fact that the lion dies in a different dimension, not even in our world. He dies in their dimension to bring the golden age. So this is what I think the lion is depicting there, Ra, and is the deliverance of Ra. and is the sun child, and is Sam's son. And what this is, it's the worthless shepherd. Christ was the true shepherd of life to bring us home in his flock to the Father's kingdom. And as we see in Zechariah 11:17, woe to the worthless shepherd who deserts the flock. May the sword strike his arm and his right eye. May his arm be completely withered, his right eye totally blinded. And this is like the Dajjal depiction we had in the Passion of the Christ. The return of the destroyer. And he will masquerade as light, just as the way that they make out that this Samael has got a good side and a bad side. It's the same thing, guys. It's going to pretend, it's going to masquerade as an angel of light, just like Satan does, and it will not be an angel of light. The one that comes next, I don't believe is going to be the real Christ, and even if it shows great wonders and signs, it will not be the Christ. It will be the masquerader. And they'll probably pass this off as not even a spiritual thing, perhaps. They'll probably pass it off as an energy, scientific thing. And really it is a spiritual thing. It is Satan walking this earth in the flesh again. And that's just what it will be. Don't partake in any of this Big Brother system as much as you can. I know it's difficult because, you know, living in this world is very difficult, completely avoiding it. But then one day we will have to completely avoid it if there is such thing as a mark of the beast, which I'm sure there will be. We need to make sure that we're aware and awake and not joining in with this type of thing, because it's totally antichrist, and we need to even perhaps face death for that one day. Who knows exactly the way it will play out, but I just pray for strength for you all, and I pray that you will all find Christ before these things begin to heat up, and thank you all for watching. Peace to you all. Take care.